A small group moves across the open grassland at dusk. They have no claws, no fangs. They can't outrun almost anything out here. By every rule of nature, these creatures should be food. And for a long time, they were. Big cats hunted them. Hyenas stalked them. Giant birds of prey snatched the small ones. Our ancestors didn't sit at the top of the food chain. They sat near the bottom, looking up. So picture yourself there. Soft, slow, weak, dropped into a world of things designed to eat you. How long do you last? So how did this animal, this prey animal, end up becoming the one creature that every predator on Earth learned to fear? The flip didn't happen because we got stronger. It happened because of something far stranger. And it's the same thing that still makes a lion freeze when it sees you today. But first, what's your guess? What single thing turned us from prey into the most feared animal alive? Drop it in the comments now, then see if you're right. Let's be honest about where we started. We were not impressive, no natural weapons, thin skin that tears easily, slow over short distances, weak compared to almost every large animal we shared the land with. A leopard could kill an early human in seconds. To a pack of hyenas, we were a slow, easy meal. The fossil record even shows it. Some ancient human skulls have puncture marks that match the fangs of big cats perfectly. Proof that we weren't the hunters in that moment. We were dinner, but somewhere along the line, the eyes watching from the dark stopped seeing a meal and started seeing a threat. And the reason why is the strangest survival story on Earth. The first thing that saved us wasn't a weapon, it was a number. A single human is easy prey, but humans almost never moved alone. They moved in tight groups, and a group changes everything. 40 eyes instead of 2, someone always watching while others rest. The moment a predator was spotted, the whole group could react as one. For a hunting cat, this is a nightmare. Ambush predators rely on surprise, but you can't surprise a group that's already looking at you. Suddenly, the easy meal has dozens of witnesses, and the hunt isn't worth the risk. We didn't survive by being strong. We survived by never being alone. The herd was the first armor we ever had. Then came the part that genuinely terrified the animal world. We could hurt them from a distance. Almost every predator has to get close to kill. Close enough to be kicked, gored, or bitten back. But humans figured out how to reach out and strike from far away. A sharpened stick, then a thrown spear. Then, devastatingly, the throw itself. Because the human shoulder is a biological catapult, built to hurl objects with a speed and accuracy no other animal on Earth can match. Think about what that means from a lion's point of view. For the first time, there was an animal that could wound you before you ever got close enough to wound it. A pride of lions could be driven off a fresh kill by a few humans throwing rocks and yelling, and the lions would walk away because the math had changed. We became the only prey animal that could fight back from a range where it couldn't be touched. That's not a meal. That's a problem. Quick one. Lions versus a few humans throwing rocks. Who walks away from the kill? Comment what you think before I tell you. But the weapon that scared predators most wasn't held in the hand. It was held in the mind. Predators run on instinct. Powerful, but predictable. Humans had something no instinct could counter. Planning. We could set an ambush, dig a pit, drive a herd off a cliff, coordinate an attack using sounds and signals that prey couldn't read. A predator can learn a territory. It cannot outthink an enemy that changes its strategy every single time. One day we'd flee. The next, we'd be waiting exactly where we ran the day before, with a trap. For an animal that survives by reading patterns, a creature with no fixed pattern is pure terror. We didn't beat the predators of the ancient world by being more dangerous in a fight. We beat them by being impossible to predict. And then we tamed the one thing every animal on Earth is born afraid of: fire. To every other creature, fire means run. It is panic, hardwired over millions of years. But humans walked toward it, picked it up, and carried it with them. And in doing so, we built a barrier no predator would cross. A campfire at night did something no claw could. It pushed the darkness back. The big cats that owned the night suddenly couldn't approach. The light blinded their ambush. The heat and smoke screamed danger to instincts they couldn't override. For the first time, our ancestors could sleep, actually sleep, inside a ring of safety that the most powerful predators on Earth simply could not enter. Fire is the moment the night stopped belonging to them and started belonging to us. We didn't just survive the dark, we took it. Here's where it gets eerie. The predators didn't just lose to us. They started avoiding us on purpose. Animals learn, and the lesson the ancient world taught every large predator was brutal and simple. The soft, slow, two-legged creatures are not worth it. Hunt them, and a whole group fights back. Approach their fire, and you get burned. Corner 1 and 3 more appear from nowhere with sharpened sticks. Generation after generation, the predators that survived were the ones that left humans alone. Fear of us got baked into them, and you can still see it today. Most wild predators, even lions and wolves, will go far out of their way to avoid an adult human, not because we look dangerous, because their ancestors learned the hard way that we are. We didn't just climb the food chain, we rewrote the instincts of everything above us. And this is the strangest part, the part that's still inside you right now. That deep automatic fear you feel of the dark, of something watching you, of a sudden sound behind you at night. That isn't weakness or childishness, it's a survival system, installed over hundreds of thousands of years of being hunted. The humans who felt that jolt of fear and reacted lived to have children. The ones who didn't. So we carry both sides of the story in our bodies. The fear of the predator that once hunted us, and the cold, planning, fire-carrying mind that eventually made that predator fear us. You are the descendant of the prey that won. Every instinct that makes you uneasy in the dark is a medal from a war your ancestors fought, and somehow, against everything, won. So, when did the flip actually finish? When did we stop being prey for good? Slowly. There was no single day. But by the time our ancestors were hunting in coordinated groups, throwing weapons, and sleeping behind walls of fire, the predators of the world had already gotten the message. The apex hunters that once saw us as food began to treat us as something to avoid, and eventually, we stopped fearing them in the wild, and they never stopped fearing us. The animal that started near the bottom of the food chain didn't claw its way to the top. It outgrouped, outranged, outthought, and outburned everything above it, until the whole natural order quietly rearranged itself around one strange, soft, clever creature. So the next time you feel that prickle on the back of your neck in a dark room, that ancient certainty that something is watching, don't be embarrassed by it. That feeling is a gift from people who lived their entire lives as prey and refused to stay that way. It kept them alive long enough to become us. You're not paranoid. You're running the same alarm system that turned the most hunted animal on Earth into the most feared one. Honestly, I think this is the most underrated story about our species. We love to imagine ourselves as natural-born apex hunters, kings of the wild from day one, but we weren't. We were the snack, and that's what makes it incredible. We didn't inherit the top of the food chain. We took it from animals that were faster, stronger, and deadlier than us, using nothing but each other, our hands, and our heads. Prey that decided to win. That's a better origin story than any super. If this changed how you see the people you came from, subscribe. That's the whole point of this channel, the why behind being human. And if you want to see how these same people survived the killing heat, the freezing dark, and the hunger of the ancient world, those videos are on screen right now. Go watch, because becoming the thing predators feared was only half the battle. There's one enemy our ancestors faced that no spear, no fire, and no group could protect them from, and what they did about it is the strangest thing yet. That's coming next.